Football Manager. What a glorious game it is. Every now and then at 12 o'clock midday, you go and hop on to play a couple of games, and next thing you know, it's 3 in the morning. I have been a fan of not just Football Manager, but football management games since 2005 Championship Manager on the original Xbox. Yes, I'm that f***ing old. And to really gain some respect on the streets, I played LMA Manager 06 and 07. I've played almost every single type of management football game you can possibly think of. Top 11, yeah, I smashed the hell out of that back in 2013. Football Chairman, that is actually quite a good game, I can't lie, on your phone. I remember back in, I think, 2014 playing a game called Lords of Football. I think because MGH played it that I did it too. And of course, how can we forget the GOAT, the greatest football management, technically not management game, but it kind of felt like it, of all time, Jumpers for Goalpost. Okay, it wasn't really a management game, but it kind of was. It's similar. Oh Christ, I could do an entire video on Jumpers for Goalpost. Do you know that I spent in the entire summer of 2007, I went to the library each day because my own PC at home was broke for the entire summer, that I went to the library each day with me and my 2 friends and played Jumpers for Goalpost 2 on mousebreaker.com. That's how you know that I am from the streets. Now, I do understand that you may have entered 2 minutes into a video and I've not really spoke about FM once, but trust me, this may be a long one. I want to give a lot of credit and basically verbal fellatio Football Manager for what it means to me and my affection and appreciation of it. Now, I know, I get it. You may have been here for a while. Yes, I have been a FIFA YouTuber for about almost a decade now, and I get it, but that gives me a lot of experience to give you this statement. FIFA Career Mode can't even tie the boots of Football Manager. I've got multiple reasons why. FIFA has its place, a lot more casual friendly, much better for presentation and graphics, and on the surface level it's a pretty good game. But when you try to, scratch the surface level and actually delve a bit deeper onto FIFA Career Mode, you very quickly realize that there's not really anything to do. Let's end the intro before it gets too long. If you guys can, then please do subscribe to the channel. Your support is amazing. I think by the time you see this, then we should be almost on 330,000 subscribers. Insane. Thank you. Let's try to hit 2,000 likes and comment down below your experience on FM as well. What team did you take from the Vanarama North to the Champions League final? What team did you manage in the Colombian 2nd Division and win the Copa Libertadores? What team did you go and take from somewhere, I don't even know, in Africa and win the Club World Cup? I don't know if you did that, then Christ almighty, you need to go outside more. Tell me your experiences because there's so many great experiences with FM and I can tell you mine as well later on. So, with that said, let's get into the video, but you gotta laugh at this. Possibly the most ironic sponsor of all time. Okay, I signed a contract, okay? Just shout at me down below. I signed a contract, okay? Please deal with it, okay? U7Buy. If you're watching, still play FIFA 23 Ultimate Team, and if you're in the market to not spend any money on FIFA points and just buy coins to get to what you want in the game, click the link at the top of the description and make sure to use code Vizeh at checkout for 6% off. I'm gonna get so much stick for that. So going into this video, I want to look at it as a retrospective, which means, according to Google, looking back on or dealing with past events or situations. I went to you on Twitter to give me some information about Football Manager, such as what makes it stand out to FIFA, the addiction of it, and how it impacts the real football world. Now, there's many different ways that I can break down this video, so let's start off with number 1, the addiction of Football Manager. What makes it so unique that you can pretty much do the same save every year and enjoy it? As a Burnley fan, I've done a Burnley FM save every year since 2007. You know what I mean? And I never get bored of it. Now, does that say a lot about me? Potentially. Now, I do understand that in a lot of my recent videos, they are quite well structured and it feels like it's scripted and bullet pointed, which they never are, by the way. But for this video, there's no script, there's no bullet points. I just want to talk. What makes it addictive? The everlasting story of you going on to play a few games and next thing you know, 5 hours have gone by. Then that may sound ridiculous, right? But if you've played it, then you absolutely know what I'm on about. For me, the addictive nature of Football Manager is the storylines that you can create, the story of it. Being able to play the game indefinitely across any club using any player in the world, and you can create your own stories that becomes addictive. For many people that don't really understand FM or may only play it for a couple of games, the first couple of months of the game cycle, and then not click with it and don't play it ever again, and they say that, oh well, it's boring because maybe they're not doing that well, or because they may be too accustomed to FIFA where you have complete and utter control on your team. When you play FIFA, for example, you can change the difficulty, you can actually control the game, you can change sliders, you can do a lot of things that puts it in your control. But with FM, it's kind of out of your control in many aspects and in your control in others, which is much more of a balanced and realistic view of real life football. The idea of playing for years upon years with regenerated players that you can form connections with. You don't understand FM unless if you have played till the second or third year and you signed a Argentinian wonder kid from River Plate or from Racing Club, right? Some random Colombians in the back who turns out to be the next Van Dijk. You sign them on your Prem save, you see them playing your team, and you feel like you want to see them develop. They start developing and you think, okay, well, I want to sign more. And the next thing you know, within 2-3 seasons, you've got an entire team full of random wonder kids from Romania, from Serbia, from Croatia, from Argentina, Brazil, and how can we forget the greatest country of all, Portugal. Big up to my boy Burgos. Who's Burgos, you may say? Oh, he's no one. He's just my wonder kid from Portugal that I signed from Rio Ave in my third season on my Birmingham save, and I won the quintuple with them. The storylines that is different in every single save. Selling a cult hero of your football club on, and then go and have an illustrious career playing for Olympiacos in Greece and become a club legend over there. Or the journeymans of you starting on your arse and having no reputation and no ability to you whatsoever, and the next thing you know, you're starting your career off in the second division of Paraguayan football and working your way up season upon season, going from Paraguay second division, get promoted, and you go and take on a job, try to crack into the European spots in Serbia, and then if you go and do well over there, then maybe you may just get a good job opportunity in Netherlands, and you can go and actually try and take on Ajax, managing a team like, I don't know, Vitesse. Okay, Vitesse, right? You get a job at Vitesse and you try to get to Europe over there, and if you do that as well, then great, fantastic, because you just got a big job offer from Lazio, my boy, and now you're managing in Italy, and now you really have a chance to try and win a league. You can win a league, boys. Get them in Europe, win the league. Now there's a big job. Where? Oh, it's just Borussia Dortmund. Now you're in Germany. But it's too hard to win a league in Germany against Bayern Munich. It's too long. So guess what you do? You go and take a new job. Where? Oh, you're in the Premier League where you should be, baby. And now you're managing Arsenal. And now you go on and you win the Premier League. And then you win the Champions League. And you ended off at Barcelona, the ultimate journeyman, the ultimate RTG, and guess what? You've done that, and you spent 6 months of your life doing it too, and you've enjoyed every single second. That is the journey that I want to say at least 80% of people experienced at least once in their life if you are a football manager player. And there's different other ways to play the game as well, and the challenges, the mods, that's what makes the game so everlasting, because you may think if you don't play that, oh well, it could get quite boring quite fast, right? You're just playing football on a spreadsheet, right? On a spreadsheet, but you don't understand, bro.
Jack Cook, the fucking Mazzala. Why is Jack Cook the best Mazzala in the world? You know what, man? I'll sing to that. Highlight. No, this was my highlight. In the 95th minute. No. Vincius Menil! What?
The multiple wide range of challenges that you can go and do. The Pentagon Challenge, trying to win every single continental Champions League, from the Asian Champions League to the Copa Libertadores. Okay, the Champions League, man, that's just nothing. Try to win the CONCACAF Champions League, and then maybe by then they may respect you. The Glory Hunter, trying to win every single top 5 league. And when speaking about the addiction of the game, I don't know what draws me to it, but there's an aura of FM. Maybe the fact that you can play it and watch a YouTube video or listen to a podcast, or you can play it anywhere. If you're traveling on an airplane, you're traveling on a train, it gives you something to play, and time absolutely flies by. There's something so relaxing about playing FM in your bedroom while just having something on to the side like YouTube or Netflix or anything that you want. There's something that's quite relaxing by that I find different to really any other game. When you're playing FIFA, or let's say Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever, right, that there's much more of a intensity to that you've got to have all your attention and focus on it. But with FM, it's a lot more laid back in that you don't need to put your full attention. It's knowing it as intense or stressful. Actually, while I'm saying that, it is quite stressful at times, but you know what I mean. So let's get into the comparisons of FM and FIFA. And people may say, and I've seen this before, of, oh, well, I don't get why we compare the two games, because they are very different games. And you're not wrong, they are very different games. As both FM and FIFA are both sports, well, football simulators, they're both done in completely different ways. Let's get into the most obvious big example here, and that is the term football manager. When you play FIFA, you aren't really a manager in really any way other than the fact that you can control which players you sign and which players you sell. Other than that, when you try to get into any sort of detail of being an actual football manager, which technically you are that in career mode, that is your career as being a manager of the football team, you can decide which players to sign and which players to sell. And your formation, whatever tactic that you want to play, you can decide that. Other than that, everything kind of just takes care of itself. Yes, you have development, right? Pick which exact stats you want your player to improve most. But the issue with FIFA that I always find is that players always end up reaching a certain rating. No matter what you do, you can have a player which is on the bench the entire season, but yet they will always improve in their rating to a level that they would even if they were playing, which makes it unrealistic and just unenjoyable that the same players go to the same teams and they get to the same rating almost every single time. And in FM, you find there to be a lot more variety, that some players they kick on and they are incredible over time because they get the game time and the form that they need to improve and develop. But there's some players that simply stalls their career and doesn't get the game time, therefore they don't improve, therefore making every single FM save different to one another. Yes, Mbappe will always be insane, and yes, Rashford will always be insane, right? And Haaland, but there's other players that may just be a random gem that's one of the best players in the world for no real reason. Like for example, my current Burnley FM 23 save, one of the best players in the world, plays for Liverpool, and his name is Adam Hlosek, which is a Czech Republic like inside forward, right? He's absolutely insane, and you would never see him being good on FIFA because you just would never be picked. You have so much more control on Football Manager. You can actually impact the finances, you could improve facilities, the tactics is so much more detailed, and also because I'm a complete nerd, I love it that you can look back on graphs and details and data, and you can look back on their previous seasons or previous matches. It doesn't really matter, right? You can look back on all of this. FIFA can't even give you their goals and assists from the previous year. They can't even give you that. Never mind how they develop over a few months or a few years. They don't even show you that. They just give you, it's gone up a little bit, but then it ends after the next year. You forgot where they came from. I want to understand that development. I want to see it and think, okay, this is where I'm going right, or this is where I'm going wrong. And if I succeed, I want to look back to see where I came from and the challenges that you came through to succeed in the first place. You don't get that feeling of satisfaction on FIFA. Also, one thing that really irks me with FIFA is that it is too easy to sign good players. In FM, you want to go and sign Mbappe? Good luck. In career mode, it's too easy to sign Rashford, it's too easy to sign Haaland, it's too easy to sign Mbappe. They're nowhere near expensive enough for them to become unattainable. And I think FIFA does that on purpose because they want to give casuals and people the opportunity to really have Mbappe in a team. Like, okay, got Mbappe in the dream team, right? Which I feel like that plays to a much more arcade element than what FM does. The lack of direct control that you have on FM makes you try even harder to want to succeed more. There's no difficulty option that you can make it go from professional to semi-pro. There's none of that. The difficulty is tough, because if you don't know what you're doing, then you are going to suffer. And it sounds kind of dumb, but trust me, it's a painful game, man. Therefore, that feeling of achievement, it pales in comparison to FIFA. When in FIFA, you can just change the difficulty. You can change sliders. You are in control of the game. But on FM, you aren't. You don't know what may happen. You may think you know what may happen, but next thing you know, you go and beat top of the league 2-1 at home. You're in a title race. You're playing against bottom of the league at home. Easy 4-0 win, right? No, you go and lose 1-0. And the player that's got against you, it's their first goal of the year. And guess what, bro? It's April. And that's what FM does to you, bro. It makes no sense. Mistakes, achievement, development, storylines, it's all holds so much more weight than FIFA. It gives you much more of an idea of what the transfer market is like. How do you sell players? If you give players a bunch of money, then you come to find that trying to sell them and get them off your books is much more difficult. Using the loan market, using the transfer market, making sure that you sign the correct players that suits your team at the time, giving them the correct amount of game time. Otherwise, guess what? If one player that you aren't playing and they get quite annoyed at you, guess what? You've got an entire squad that wants you out the club because you are treating your players incorrectly. You could be kicked out of a football club because the players don't like you because you didn't give one player game time that he wants, and if you try to ignore him or talk down to him and you say the wrong thing, then guess what? Your players get unhappy, they're on low morale, they play worse, they're out of form, and then guess what? You're out of a job. That happens quite often on FM if you are not as knowledgeable in the game as what some other people are. With FM, you also get more of a basic understanding of tactics, understanding what inside forwards are, or inverted wingers. Do I know what they mean? Not really. And then I want to go into how it actually has impacted real life. For example, you may know the story of Roberto Firmino, that he was signed by a man called Lutz Pfannenstiel. I think that's his name, I do apologise. Lutz was the director of football at Hoffenheim, and back in 2011, Hoffenheim signed Roberto Firmino from Figueirense, I'm so sorry for saying that wrong, for 3.5 million. Guess what? His story of how he found him from somewhere randomly in Brazil, from Hoffenheim, was that he found him on Football Manager. Him and a colleague of his found him in FM and felt like actually scouting him in real life and then gave him a chance. An article from back in 2014 showcased why clubs are using FM as a real life scouting tool. How do football clubs sign players? Well, the large chunk of it is from data. You may say the eye test and to actually go and watch them play, yeah, but to actually try to narrow down that list, you've got to see the data first, right, and compare them to other players. And the best way to compare that is through data. From shooting to passing to pass types to goal and shot creation to defense to possession to miscellaneous stats like, for example, interceptions, tackles won, pressures. Sports Interactive, who of course are the creators of FM, have got dedicated scouts specifically for FM and for these data collecting companies who attend real life matches, training sessions, and file detailed reports. This is in 2014, so you can imagine that it's expanded a lot more since then. But according to the Sports Interactive director, Miles Jacobson, saying that they had 1,300 scouts in 51 countries across the world, which you can only imagine has expanded much more since then. In FM, you could have 100,000 people play a Premier League year in the first season, and I can guarantee that not 2 saves out of 100,000 is the exact same. There'll be different winners, different top 4, different 3 going down, player of the year, young player of the year. I guarantee that there will be not 2 saves that'll be the exact same, and that is the beauty of the system of FM. I love the fact that I can play FM with the same team as someone else, but me and him can have completely different experiences. I could try one tactic that works and his doesn't. We can both sign 2 different players from similar ratings, but his works a lot better than me. It's even come to a point where agents of actual real life football players have actually attempted to bribe Sports Interactive to boost up the ratings and attributes of some of their young players because they want to try to make them look more appealing to real life clubs. Real life clubs in lower divisions, let's say you're playing the 7th tier of English football in the Vanarama North, they would actually use FM to try to scout and have a look at some player that may be good, that may be having something about them. Now, if you have made it this far, then I don't know how, honestly. Maybe you're just playing FM and just watching this. Honestly, please comment down below. Like, are you also playing FM and watching this video? Because that would make so much sense. I want you to tell me down below your greatest ever experience, your greatest save on FM. I know people to this day in 2023 that's still playing their save from back in FM 15. I still know people are still doing a save of them playing for, I don't know, Spal in Italy, and they're still doing their save because they have such a connection to that world, which may sound crazy, but trust me, you'd be surprised. The mods are endless from different leagues. I can go and put my real life football team that I play for in Poland. I play in the 7th tier of Polish football. 2 tiers of semi-pro, okay? Keep that in mind, 2 tiers, okay? Put on a mod, having the entire Polish league system go to the 8th tier, the B classer, and I can go and manage my real life football club, LKS Drazek Dębowiec, right? And I can go and manage my own team and take them to extra classer and win the Champions League, and that is possible. If you have the time for it, that is possible. There's people that have literally supported football clubs because of the team that they go and manage on FM, have a team that they form a connection with because they like their colour scheme or something dumb like that, and then actually become fans of them and go and see them in real life. There's people who have played FM and become actual managers in real life. I mean, Christ almighty, Will still gets told enough times on Twitter. I'm waffling here, I know. But I felt like this was the kind of video just to waffle about. For how it's impacted my life, it's always been a part of me. Like, in my entire life, right? I've always played FM. I've always played it in my free time. It's relaxing. It's just that type of game that once you're in on it, once you understand it and you know what is possible, then you just want to keep going back into it. You may take a bit of a break, but you'll always come back. Yeah, I'm happy to end it there. Give me your thoughts down below in the comments. Subscribe if you're new. And here's my appreciation for Football Manager. Thank you for watching or listening, and I'll see you next time.